Today, the true game awards were the friends we made along the way. This is ChillPoint. Remember last night, when Graham said that he would be replaced by Beej on ChillPoint?
I lied.
Yeah.
He'll be in shortly. I'm just filling the seat.
I have a question about your thing. When you say that the true awards are the friends we made along the way, the only person kind of reward I've ever heard of is a trophy wife. Do you have trophy friends?
Trophy friends.
Should I know something?
During the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley and Miss Piggy definitely made some friendship.
That was
alluded to a friendship.
Weird. Though I do really like Miss Piggy. I like that she was
Bora
there.
Bora.
I like Miss Piggy a lot.
I think Miss Piggy worked better than having what's her name, the critics.
Oh, the two old men.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the reason people got up in arms about them was because what they were doing was yelling out critiques that
Actual
people
criticism.
had made.
Yeah.
And people felt like you're making fun of them, the critiques that we've made, rather than actually doing the
You're
things we've asked
acknowledging
you.
them but not addressing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
didn't care for them, but I don't care for them as a couple of Muppets anyway.
Like, I still say that the Muppets there should have been some video game tie-in to justify the Muppets being there. Like,
Yeah.
they're celebrities.
Yeah.
It's not like they have celebrities at the Video Game Awards or at the Game Awards, but not just like a random celeb. Like, they have to have some connection.
There are tenuous excuses.
Yeah.
I think in the past they've had like Beaker show up to basically preamble for a game that is not Muppet related.
But it's like, oh, but I'm here, but it's like about science. So
Yeah, it was very, very strange. It was actually stranger than just having them kind of as a weird guest thing.
There was a strange period of time. This is totally unrelated. It's a strange period of time where Monday Night Raw it was like a year and a half where they had a guest host every week on a wrestling show. And it was...
And the Muppets were the guests 1 week?
It was almost universally an utterly dog shit idea, and that went badly and was just full of like terrible shtick.
The guests were never any good.
They were never good, or the bits were bad, or the people can't act, or they don't know where they are, or they're just there because their PR said that they had to do it, or whatever, with 3 exceptions to my mind. Bob Barker, amazing. Betty White, because Betty White could do anything, and the Muppets. And the Muppets episode crushed. It
Are
was
they actually
so good.
Did they actually have
Yes,
them?
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Seamus and his long lost cousin Beaker, because they both have spiky red hair.
Did they actually like have them ringside doing announcement stuff too, or was it they were just like showing up in like random little bits?
They were. I think they showed up at least. They were in the arena at one point, but mostly it was like backstage segments because of puppets. But
I was mostly concerned about because sometimes the announcer table. I was like, what if the announcer table gets smashed and it's like, oh, Beaker's fine, but the guy who was under the table.
But Frank Oz is in ruins. Yeah. No, it's because we always acknowledged, Adam and I always talked about on Sidewalk Slam, that like wrestling is at its best when it's basically the Muppet Show. When like the authority figures are like, please, I'm just trying to put on a television show.
Right.
And all the wrestlers are like, but we have our own beef. Right. And the authority figures are like, no, please.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The other thing I kind of want to bring up about the Game Awards, we talked about how they didn't play people off with music.
Yeah.
Which was not a thing they did last year.
No.
They did it a couple years ago. But I feel like people forget why they did that in the first place, because the year before they were pushing people off with music, they had...
Is it because Mike Judge
did
the really long speech?
And it kind of, I think, messed with their time frames of stuff. So they way overcompensated into...
Not Mike Judge?
Is it Mike Judge?
Not somebody Judge.
The
There was a person who had an incredibly long speech.
yeah, was it the guy who does Kratos' voice?
Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
like, somebody Judge.
Yeah.
And,
Like
and
Mike
they,
Judge
they
made
clearly
Beavis and Butthead.
overcompensated with being like, oh, we'll just do cues where we play people off.
Yeah.
And then made everyone very upset because they maybe stuck to it too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people were pretty good about, I feel like the directors get a little nervous when the person pulls out the piece of paper. But yeah, people kept it pretty tight. And
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, it's this thing of like, oh, they did this terrible thing. And I'm like, yeah, they overdid it, but they were trying to correct for a different thing the year before. Like, and you have to keep in mind that they only do this event once a year. I mean, twice a year now. So maybe they get like some better feedback from the Summer Games Fest where they do a thing and they're like, okay, that worked a lot better. Let's stick to that.
But anyway, hey everybody, welcome to ChillPoint, show where we talk about video game news.
We do.
And also about the episode of Checkpoint, which has been filmed but is in process of going online right
Processing.
It's in YouTube's hands now.
now. Yes.
So
It is in the great YouTube.
So soon after we're done this stream, but if you're on YouTube, and you don't watch us live, you probably see that first, which is fine because then you've already done your homework.
if you're watching live, there's enough time for you to watch it between now and Paper Fight.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
Wait, when are we
Not
starting
now.
Paper Fight?
Between the end of the stream and Paper Fight. Paper Fight's early today.
At 4 o'clock.
Yeah, because of the 8-player draft.
Okay.
If you're not
Yes.
watching live, that video is probably already up.
Like, there's time shenanigans
Paul.
involved
And if
along
you're-
with the
and if
normal
you're
dark
watching
rituals.
this a week ago, then this is all different.
Yeah.
So it's a very like we'd go put the Master Sword back in the pedestal and now pull it out and
Anyway, I guess we'll talk about some of the stories that will be in the episode of Checkpoint, even though theoretically you haven't seen that episode yet, because they're probably stories that you're. A lot of these stories, it's probably not a surprise that we're covering them. Let's just say.
Yeah.
they were all very well done. Everyone did a great job.
Yeah. While I'm here, before Beej hops in, let me talk about the
Yeah,
one,
yeah, why don't
the
you
one
bring
that I
your
wrote,
story? Yeah.
which was the where is it? There we go. Right, Call of Duty. So
Yeah.
apparently, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is bad,
Okay.
or at least has been not received well and hasn't been selling great.
Mixed reviews.
Yes, it has definitely. What percentage? Like, it's getting about 6 from reviewers.
Yeah.
It's getting like 1.5 from the audience.
Yeah.
So that's probably mostly people not. That's probably not like the quality of the game. It's more like the. They don't feel like they're being respected more than
yeah.
the actual like technical quality of the game.
I remember, if maybe Heather, if you recall this, we saw a trailer for Black Ops 7 at Summer Game Fest, and we were like, we were
that
like,
one.
is this a first person control? What is this? And then it was like Call of Duty, and we're like, what?
It was
on
really weird.
earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's from what I understand from the plot is like a direct sequel to Call of
To
Duty Black Ops 6,
which was last year's Black Ops.
which I think there is an aspect, because these games, the Call of Duty games, are so, the emphasis is on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just the perspective of somebody who is not a big Call of Duty player, but it feels like having not only a plot that is a direct sequel to the plot. It's also, as you see from the trailers and stuff, kind of it's like I think there's like some sort of hallucinogenic weirdness going on, and so there's all this cool, which like looks legitimately cool looking,
Yeah.
but also is just like it's like revisiting areas from not only called Black Ops 6, but like tons of previous Black Ops, but
not-
like they're all twisted and different.
It's not particularly grounded.
And it's like this might be cool if like the story-driven gameplay of Black Ops was the like central piece of it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it hasn't been.
So
If you're hallucinating old campaigns, I think they just call that PTSD.
So the yeah, okay. So Basically, it's not been received well and it's not been selling well,
Yeah.
and so Activision, well, it doesn't say who, but it's the Call of Duty team, but it's Activision, basically put out a statement being like, "Hey, we get it, we hear you. It's not meeting your expectations. We missed the mark. We'll do better. We're going to over deliver." They promised, which is a horrible thing to promise.
I'd never do that.
Yeah.
And one of their big ways that they're going to address this is that they will not be doing back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops every year going forward. That's not, there won't be a Call of Duty game every year. There will be a Call of Duty game every year. It's just now they're going to formally alternate between those titles.
Because Black Ops 6 was last year.
Yeah. I don't see how that solves your problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they're done by different teams, the two games, but
like,
they're so big that it's like, yeah.
I also think the concept of, hey, it's the holiday season, we won't rest until we meet your expectations, is the worst thing I've ever heard anyone say in December.
They said they're going to have unprecedented seasonal content support, which sounds like a great way to burn a bunch of people out. Yeah,
And
everybody, you have no families now.
I yield.
And it's just the idea that it's like, we understand that Black Ops 7 did not meet your expectations, but, we are committed to overperforming, and it's like if you know what the problem is, like presumably you would have done that before it shipped.
Yeah.
Like clearly you don't know what the problem is. That's why you ship this game that people don't like. That's the problem, and I feel like just spending more time on it is not going to fix it.
Well, I mean, more time as in not just a year's worth.
Yeah.
All the time.
Unprecedented.
Is helpful.
Yeah.
When people say over promising,
Yeah.
it always goes with the word under delivering.
Right.
So, however it is that they're prepping people for the idea of, don't worry, we're not going to cause ourselves problems, but also we're going to do all this unprecedented amount of content. It's like,
I guess, promising that you're going to over-deliver
yeah,
sort of defeats the purpose of over-delivering.
yeah.
Like, over-delivering implies that
You're more than what you expect.
that people are expecting you to deliver and you're going to do more.
Yeah.
But if you've told everybody that you're going to over-deliver, that now becomes the amount that you're expected to deliver.
Yeah.
And now it's not over-delivering anymore.
Yeah,
No.
when people tell you always have to be doing go the extra, you always have to go the extra mile. That's the new baseline.
Yeah,
then,
you got to
which
give
means-
110%.
Yeah.
Sir, we can't give 110%. That is physically impossible.
So it is kind of like, it is kind of this idea of like, if we stop telling people that you have an expectation of whatever, then you can always over deliver, because you can say, well, we can do a little bit more than what you expect. But if you're already recognizing that actually over delivering has turned into a problem for us, it's like that needs to get scaled back too. Like that's not
and in having a thing where, like, in the same statement that you're saying, we didn't meet your expectations and we are going to cut, we're going to change the cadence of our releases.
sounds like an under promise. Okay.
We're going to change the cadence of our releases, so we're not going to, we're not going to put Black Ops back to back. We're not going to put and stuff. But like in that statement, ending the statement by saying, and we're working on the next generation of games, and it's going to have everything. It's what the great quote is. It is going to deliver precisely what everybody wants.
Yeah. And
it's
all the
like-
things you don't expect.
And it's like, if you knew how to deliver a game that delivers precisely what everyone wants, why didn't you do that?
Yeah. Good point.
Like, I think that is one, impossible, and two, you don't know. It's like you don't know how to do that, and it also isn't possible anyway because
It
people
just
want
seems
different
to
things.
be the thing that you do when you're in. I'm assuming these are corporate things that get sent out.
Yeah.
Is you just say you just repeat. No, things are great. Things are gonna be great. Things will always be great, over and over. And it's like, yes, if we just say the words, people believe them. And I'm like, no, we'd actually believe these a lot more if you just actually be humans about things and just say, we're sorry we didn't make the mark. We're trying harder. We're doing. That's what they used to do.
Yeah.
That's what people actually used to do.
But when you put whatever $300 million into the game, but it's for what it's worth. Again, as an outsider from the franchise, from what I understand from reviews and stuff, it's fine.
Oh, good.
Like it's getting like 6s and 7s, which is not great, but the fact that it's like user reviews are like 1.5 doesn't indicate that it's not that broken. It's just people are pissed off at it.
But kids love 6, 7s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. In fact, you might say it is the most popular rating.
I mean,
if I was Activision, I would say that certainly.
I do
We
think
have a
it's-
lot of prepubescent children playing our
Yes.
game about shooting people in the face.
I do think it's worth checking out games that are rated around the 6, 7 mark. Just not AAA games.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, did we spend $300 million on this game to get a 6?
I literally, it's funny because I was like, when I was reading because we're going to talk about Skyrim. Actually, I don't need to do that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the seeing ratings of like how Skyrim is now being rated, I think is a funny thing. But also because I just beat Silksong yesterday, and am shedding that weight of like I'm free of this thing. It was a lot of I'm like, what was the next thing I was going to play? And the next thing that I played actually was like an arcade game that I would probably have rated a 4. It was like an arcade game ported to the Switch that I ultimately would have rated a 4. And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, there's even in that instance, I'm like, man, even if I just decided to play a game that was 7 out of 10, I would have been a lot better off. So
Sometimes you gotta get some release though. Sometimes you just want to play like a silly, stupid game. For a little bit.
exactly.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
holy shit,
no.
I could have been playing this absolute dog shit game.
It's definitely good to play. I feel like when you finish a game, a different genre of game or thing is just a really good idea. Or even going back to like something you really liked, so that you have that downtime.
It's like,
but
sometimes, just like I'm not emotionally prepared to start a new game yet.
I also feel like Beej and I had vastly different reactions to completing Silksong. I feel like yours was like, I am done being in prison. And mine was just like, oh no, I've run out of Silksong.
I mean, that was kind of like
the soft silken prison is nevertheless a prison.
I'm sure I could speak extemporaneously upon my feelings about getting to the end of that game, and I don't know if derailing ChillPoint is a great idea. What I will say is I will get my shit in right now. Sorry I'm late, everybody. I just got back from the Game Awards after party for co-streamers. And all I can say is you can only pee so fast.
Okay.
All right.
So some of the other stories that we're talking about on that will be talked about on the checkpoint that is going up is about the Kingdom of Gaming.
Oh yeah.
Which is a new video game developer, publisher, and also I think it is also directed at consumers, but it's actually more developer publisher thing, equivalent to GDC, that is being promoted for
The Saudi Arabian government,
yeah,
I guess.
it's
ultimately.
in Riyadh, and it's going to be, it's their, it's continuing on with their image thing.
Right. So you when they get this going, what, next year or something is when it's supposed to start?
2026.
We'll
December
then
2026.
have note who's not going, because those might be the game devs you want to actually pay attention to.
Although, Cameron wrote a story about this, and one of the things he does point out is that it's like, it might indicate, maybe it's not a good look for a lot of these companies. But on the other hand, the Saudi Public Investment Fund owns like at least like 10% of most companies.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of the big publishers to still go and like those things. It's more of who can't safely travel there that I expect not to be going.
Yeah. So that will be interesting, including, by the way, piece of news or piece of information that came out. I think it came out. I don't think we talked about this last week. I think this came out in the interim, but about that whole EA being bought out by a consortium. That's the Saudi Public Investment Fund and two other companies.
Yes.
It's like White Pines something. I don't know.
Yeah,
two other
it's
companies.
private
One of which
equity
is
firms.
like run by Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of a moot point because it turns out that this consortium will end up with the Saudi Public Investment Fund owning like 94.5% of EA.
Yeah.
Like it's not so much a consortium as the Saudi Public Investment Fund is buying them and giving a little taste to these other companies to probably get good to enable it to get past the regulations easier. Yeah.
This new this new thing of the Kingdom of Gaming, this conference, I like on a geopolitical stage, I understand why Saudi Arabia wants to like put the seat of so many things to do with entertainment at the center, because it's not just Western entertainment anymore, right? Video games is not just kind of like, oh, this is the seat of the United States and then also Japan and then that, and like that kind of thing. It's like the really like, because you'd have to know an awful lot about the history of video gaming and how consoles and everything kind of spread across the world and all these different places. And I should also say the UK, because a lot of like a lot of like the ZX Spectrum and the Acorn and like all that kind of stuff. A lot of computers coming out of that area that we were aware of back in the 80s as well. And it's like this idea that those were the major seats of video gaming, and then Europe as a whole kind of grew out of that as well. And then you start to see like other places starting to take that on. And the discomfort that we see cropping up of, oh, now China is doing their own thing where they have massive companies that are investing so much money, and that's spreading outwards from China and getting into all these different places. And so it's like, it's only natural that, of course, money from Saudi Arabia was going to start flowing into those places as well, because there's money to be made everywhere. And so it is this complete understanding of like, yes, if we can host this politics washed event or multiple events like the esports events and all the other stuff that go on there as well. It's like, if we can do all these things where we can kind of use this to burnish our image and kind of wash the negative sense out of some people's mouths, but at the same time, it's like, I also don't think that they give a shit about what people think about them. And I think China's the same way. If we don't give a shit about what people think about us, if we start hosting game development conferences and stuff, it's like, on the geopolitical stage, we're not interested in that. We're interested in attracting investment and attracting people to come in. And so our discomfort with that also, I think, comes from a point of view of, I guess maybe it's an ethnocentrist point of view of like, but the United States, but also Germany, but also Taiwan, those are supposed to be like seats of major gaming development. And that's what we were comfortable with, because we all knew that we were allowed to go to those places and say what we wanted and be who we wanted and do the things that we wanted. And I'm like, yeah, this Kingdom of Gaming thing does not sit well, I think, because there's also this thing of like, wow, that's not the culture. That's not the thing that we've traditionally associated with this. And for all the discomfort that we have with it, it is kind of like, oh shit, how is this going to change gaming? Like, if a lot of money's invested in that place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Apart from the, this sort of
The larger political ramification.
trying to clean up the political image and stuff. I think there is like, I do kind of applaud the idea of, it's like, we have a lot of money from oil revenue.
Yeah.
But we also know that the oil isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
So let's use this money to try to sort of jumpstart a whole bunch of, we're trying to jumpstart gaming here. We're trying to jumpstart
Any other industry.
Media, comedy, all these different things. We want to become, basically forcing, using a bunch of this money to generate sort of whole cloth, rather than sort of
organic growth.
Yeah, rather than allowing it sort of organic growth, being like, no, let's actually sort of generate this and turn Riyadh or where other places into sort of a mecca for all these different things. Maybe not that term.
But you know what we mean. Yeah.
Make it try to make it be a place sort of that people will know to come to these places, and I can sort of applaud that objective.
Sure.
Obviously, the human rights stuff makes it not as palatable. Obviously.
Yeah. It's such a
I don't know.
It's such a it's a weird thing, because I think there is that idea that the one that I missed in talking about it, where you're like, this wasn't organic. We're just shoving great gobs of money in, so people will actually see that we are a place to go for gaming. And I'm like there's the authenticity argument, right? It's like, do you really give a shit about this, or what you give a shit about is the money?
And as Rock Pusher says, I am 100% behind countries or governments, organizations exerting influence on the world with this sort of what called like soft power, with money, with promoting stuff, as opposed to with
guns
violence.
and bombs. Yeah.
My favorite story is about the Thai government had this, they quite a while ago, they were like, we want people to like us and know us better and improve diplomatic relations. We're going to put a whole bunch of money into restaurants and they designed a couple of templates for what a Thai restaurant is. They did research and figured out dishes that the Western palate works for that,
right? And
they gave massive tax breaks to people who wanted to immigrate to other countries and open a restaurant, or people who were living in other restaurants. And there are Thai restaurants everywhere, and it's delicious food. Yeah. And it's amazing. And now people have a positive connotation. It's like, oh, Thai, delicious food.
Yeah,
they have great food. That's like one of the things I know about them.
And when you put that up against,
and it's like, that's such a brilliant. And it's like, please, let's have more. Of that kind of diplomacy.
Yeah, if you want to help spread your culture and help spread people's appreciation of your country or of your people or whatever. I mean, food is is the way to do it, more than marching around in circles and sending videos to people.
Yeah.
So back to this thing. I can appreciate the idea of trying to exert cultural influence through money, and trying to push this thing forward, as opposed to the trying to do it in the bad way.
Cultural influence versus a cultural exchange.
That's true.
Being like, oh, there's more Thai restaurants, so now we have more variety, and we can check out another culture's food, versus a place that possibly murders journalists.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not saying it's like, oh, well, this is going to do a lot to make me feel better about this. What I am saying is, when we are staring this in the face, recognizing it nakedly as to this is what is going on, and that discomfort that you're feeling is partially out of, I don't want to support this for very good reason, but part of it is also I feel like dominance is being challenged, And when you have that kind of money, it's very easy to challenge somebody's dominance because money itself is an incredible power. So yeah,
And
I don't feel comfortable about this
they're
for
gonna-
multiple reasons, and
They're going
it's
to
okay
continue.
to.
It's a continuation, right?
Yeah.
I believe we've talked about a story where they were doing a esports competition trophy
Yeah.
thing recently. Most of the stories before that have been them putting money into different companies, which is more of what the EA one is, except that's more of a takeover.
Yeah.
And now they're doing a convention, a dev conference thing as well. So it is more, it's not just we're putting money into companies, it's we do want people to come here as well, and we want
Yeah.
this expansion of things. And we'll probably continue to see more of that because, to be honest, they have the money to just continue to do so.
And yeah, and I'd be very interested to see what, not only they're also, obviously they're buying all these, they're buying stakes in all these companies and parts of EA and all this stuff, but I would also be very interested to see the outputs of, a homegrown Saudi Arabian
Development studio,
Development
or
studios.
studios.
and and maybe I'm ignorant in that there are already a bunch of cool things coming out of there, but but I hope that they can do that as well. Like not only be sort of invested in other companies, but pushing their own, bringing up their own industry in that too.
Yeah,
But
it's
anyway.
it definitely, like, it's fraught. It's it's private companies versus governments, and nobody is doing a good job of playing nice. But at least private companies don't tend to have death squads.
Well,
Again,
Or-
kind
depends.
of.
Depends. So yeah, we took Coca-Cola. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, the three of us at this table will not
Let's
solve
move
any
on.
of these things. We
Nope,
should probably
nope.
just for...
And all of you in chat, you should also realize that we're not going to solve this in the thing. I just think it's interesting to keep in mind.
Speaking of people buying things, Netflix is buying Warner Brothers. Probably.
I mean, they definitely want to, and it seems like it will happen.
Yes, although Paramount has been like, no, we're actually going to buy
Yeah.
them. And everyone's like, but we haven't, it's like, there's a reason why we haven't been returning our calls.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love Netflix actually sent me an email just like a couple days ago that it's like, good news. The whole Warner Brothers catalog is going to be coming to Netflix. Like,
Star, like if this goes through. Okay.
But I felt like a little premature to be
Yeah.
like telling everybody. It's like, so don't cancel your account for another year because good stuff is on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is a story that Beach wrote.
Yeah. I'm seeing in chat. I'm seeing in chat that wasn't Paramount about to be bought itself. Yes, Paramount already was bought by the son of Oracle. That's such a weird goddamn thing
Larry
to
Ellison.
say. Yeah, Oracle
Yeah.
founder, Oracle owner Larry Ellison. His son owns a media company, Skydance Entertainment, I think, and they're the ones who bought Paramount, and that's why Stephen Colbert is going off the air, is because they were like, we have to fire somebody in order to ensure, somebody that's making the president mad, in order to ensure that we can get this whole media thing to go through.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Nobody's actually saying that's what happened, but And so here's now Paramount, of course, owned by people who have the ear and the well, at least they have the ear of the president, being like, hey, so we also want to do even more media consolidation, and Netflix is also doing that, but Paramount's like, no, we want to do more, and we want to have more, and so it's rough right now.
I don't have a strong opinion whether Netflix or Paramount owning
Is a better.
WB is better or worse. Frankly, I don't really know.
Every time we go through this kind of thing, it always feels like, oh, it's gonna. At least that's a better person. You're like, actually, it wasn't.
No.
WB, although I will say Warner Brothers is one of those. It's one of those companies, and I guess Paramount is probably like this too. But Warner Brothers is one of those companies that in like 30 Rock, there's the joke about like the big organizational chart that everything is actually owned by the Scheinhart Wig Company. Like at the very top, like and that owns like 3 other companies, which own NBC, which owns
Oh yeah.
And but like WB is kind of like that in the sense that like Warner Brothers owns way more things than you think they do.
Yeah.
Like for instance, they own DC.
Yeah.
And they own like and they own you know, a whole bunch of properties through that. They own, you know, Mad Magazine. They own you know, all sorts of weird like all sorts of things. I saw stuff, and I don't know if this is accurate, but they like own a bunch of like restaurants, like Waffle House and stuff.
Wow.
Or like
Somehow connected
through the various things.
It's the crux of the story is and of course nobody's seen ChillPoint today,
Yes.
No.
right? But the crux of the story is essentially when you think about the stuff that Warner Brothers owns, you know, you can usually come with like, oh well, they own like The Matrix or they own Bugs Bunny, like that kind of thing. You can kind of because
All the movie properties and things.
And
like
of
that.
course HBO,
yeah, and those things kind of make like big impacts on your brain. So you're like, oh, I can see how this is a thing. And I mean, like AOL Time Warner was a thing for a while. So it's complicated about how things got like combined together and got pulled apart and like all that kind of stuff. But when you start thinking like they had gaming, right? They were funding studios or they owned studios outright. And it's like, right. So shit, I'm trying to think of a title that when I see the Warner Brothers shield, what is it? Like, what are these things? Because ultimately, that's kind of what feels like what happened with Netflix, because they're like, oh, we don't give a shit about Warner Brothers gaming catalog.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that's sort of the crux of this story. Is that in the in a developer or in a
It was an investor's call.
investor call, they were people were asking about how the purchase would affect the Netflix's sort of gaming push.
Yeah.
And they were like, we did not, the WB Games division was not factored into our evaluation.
Yeah.
It's we consider it pretty negligible.
Yeah, the quote is amazing because like we didn't assign any value to it because it's actually quite minor, and
Which is like, you know, I know these are big numbers.
Yeah.
But that is a amazing, like, okay, like the idea that, like, say, Justice League or Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
yeah,
It was not a successful game.
no,
It was, but it was like a $200 million game. Like they
Yes.
spent so much money on it.
and
So the idea that like a company that has the kind of money and wherewithal to spend that much money on a game
yeah,
is now worthless,
yeah,
or
rather that has
effectively
no
worth-
value. Yeah,
effectively worthless.
and if you think about, so to break this down, they're talking like $82 billion in a purchase
Yeah.
price, right? It's probably stock exchanges and all sorts of other
And so they're
crazy
right,
shit.
and so I mean they're right. Like
Yeah.
it is actually negligible in the great scheme of things.
It's 1/5 of $1 billion. So 5 Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League games in terms of investment. If you had 5 of those going on or whatever and making money off the backs of
Justice League
that,
5 times.
yeah, that only
That's a
accounts
bargain.
for 1/80th. Like it's
Yeah.
such a small amount. Like it's just
It's the law of large numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's just like
But-
the numbers on display here are so ridiculous.
yeah.
Wouldn't in Netflix's view, I know Netflix has this whole push for games, but they are a video streaming service. Primarily, that's what people think of more than
Right.
the gaming. And they have things like that live action We're So Dark Emo Teen Titans show and things that would be DC properties that WB probably had
so
the
like
license from WB in the first place.
It's like we don't need the licenses anymore because now we are it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as people in chat say, also, you know, they also own like or WB also owns like Cartoon Network. So all of those properties.
Oh yeah.
Space
So-
Coast Coast to Coast.
It's such a like it's that thing where like I can imagine, you know like every once in a while like Itch.io does those like game bundles
Oh yeah,
for
50 or
charity
60 or 200 games.
or I mean some of the ones they did were like 2,000 games, right?
yes.
For like $10 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so you're like, you know what? I'll buy that. And you buy that. And then it's like, how, you know, I didn't even know there's so much stuff here. I didn't even know how to like organize it in
Yeah.
a useful way. And so you play some stuff and things, and then every once in a while you hear about a game that sounds cool and realize that you already own it because it was in this pack.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that's what happens if you buy a company like WB, like just cataloging what you now own
Yeah.
is going to take like literally like years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just for Netflix to be like, okay, so what do we own now? What do we have? What properties can we actually pull out? And how do all the incredibly complex licensing agreements that probably already exist all interact with these things?
Well, and I'd seen a thing that even said a headline. I might have the headline wrong, but it's that Spry Fox is been sold back to the owners, like the people who originally owned the studio or whatever.
Okay,
that they
sure.
have basically been like, so because they were owned by WB,
Oh, okay.
and that they're like, we'd like to just buy our studio back, and they were like, yes, because there's potentially an acquisition coming up, and if they were like, what if we just give you the money to buy the studio outright? And I'm just kind of like, if I've got that headline right, that's like the let's zoom down to the microscopic level where these 10 or 15 people that are working for this one little studio being like, we'd like to buy the studio back from you, and whoever is the immediate supervisor is like, let me ask my boss, and they do, and that boss is like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna mind if they get sold. So it's like, yeah, you guys can go ahead and buy this from us. It's like, great, here's your $38 or whatever the hell it is. Like, it's like at that level of there are people at the top who are like, I don't know what a Spry Fox is. I don't even know why you're asking me this question.
WB is like, what Fox?
Yeah. Yeah. Can we market that? Can we turn it into a 3-movie deal? It's like, no, you can't.
I mean, that happened with Double Fine.
Yeah.
They got bought by Microsoft, and I think they were supposed to be publishing or helping with an indie game. I thought it was Minico's Night Market, but I don't remember off the top. But they were allowed to leave the publishing deal because Double Fine was getting bought.
I feel like, I know we've complained an awful lot about media consolidation, and I know that the idea there is it's because it's like the people who are at the very top who are trying to operate these companies are like, I must get bigger. We must be bigger, not maybe to pad my pockets, but also to stave off the eventual acquisition by another party, because if somebody does actually buy us, then they're going to throw my ass the curve, and I'll only have the $3 billion that I've been sitting on while I've been working my job, and I'll never be able to survive with that.
Yeah, the early stage of the spore, right, where you're a little thing, and you got to eat all the other guys.
Yeah.
And you got to run away from the bigger guys, and then you get bigger, and then you come back and eat them.
Exactly.
That's the corporate world.
And it's just this sick position to be in, where, because that bugs me so much, the idea that it's like somebody makes a cool little thing, and then somebody slightly larger than above them says, you know what, we'd like to buy your company and add it to our little stable of studios to do more stuff. And you're like, oh, that's fun. So it's like, the 5 indie companies belong to a slightly larger indie publisher, which gets bought up in a conglomerate of other publishers that belong to then a much more corporate entity. And it's just like, wow.
And then it goes up and up and up. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to a point where, as you say, eventually the people at the top have no idea all of the things that they own. And have no idea about how important any one of them is next to another. All they're looking at is a dollar sign next to the value of the thing that has been assessed either internally or externally. And it's like, it's like, we make good things here. And if we got acquired by something and we ended up in kind of that chase of what happens, it's like, ultimately, yeah, it feels like we can operate a business here based on what our increasingly ridiculous business model is, but it's like, we can do that here at Loading Ready Run, and I'm just like, all of those little game studios probably were in a position to pull that kind of thing off too, and then they got into a part where they were in trouble a little bit, and they're like, oh, but we can get acquired and actually have a reliable paycheck, so we can afford to go to the doctor.
It's less stressful. You get if you're part of a group of more people, generally you can get like a healthcare plan or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get these other benefits, or
and a lot of very
You don't have to do your own accounting is also a very nice thing to think.
a lot of brilliant game developers are not necessarily good, company founders.
No, that's true.
I
They
mean,
don't know how
there's
to operate a
that.
business.
Yeah, just because you're an indie studio doesn't mean the person running it's any better.
Yeah.
And it's like, anyway, was it Mr. Show, the Globocam, we own everything so you don't have to.
I love you.
but just that, like, I mean, it's certainly, it's there. Of course, the flip side of this is the thing that's like, hey, it would be actually, Netflix sent me that letter about it's like, hey, having all that stuff on my Netflix account would actually be kind of nice.
Yeah. You have all this free access to these shows.
And
You
I can
can't
bet
possibly
you-
watch all of them.
I can bet you Netflix will up their prices again.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do
to
that.
cover for that. And but don't worry, they'll have that tier that you already pay for. It'll just have ads in it.
Yeah.
I already have the tier that has ads in it.
Well, then
well,
you're
that'll
getting
go up.
twice as many ads.
In fact, so the longer I
They're going to put
was
AI ads in your shows.
I did find that when I used to watch Crunchyroll, because it used to be that at least for a long time, that you could watch a bunch of stuff for free if it had been out for more than like a week.
Right.
Not all shows, but there were a number of shows they didn't care about because it didn't grab people. The longer the show got, the higher up into the episode number, the more often the ads happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love because on streaming you can often they often show the ad breaks in the like on the on the thing, so you can see visually you can see how the ad breaks fill up near the end, at the end of the movie they start coming more and more frequent, which you knew intellectually already, but actually seeing them show you when the ad breaks are, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. This is how I'm getting screwed.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let us move on to another story that is in the Checkpoint, and this is mostly that. So there's a tie-in for the Assassin's Creed Shadows is doing a tie-in with Attack on Titan.
This is the one that Nelson wrote?
Yes.
Okay.
So Attack and now Assassin's Creed Shadows, the historical realism part of Assassin's Creed Shadows has has gone out the window already.
Okay.
Movies the Assassin's Creed games have very strong historical realism in certain ways, and then they also just go totally bonkers in other ways.
Fair. Okay.
That's just how they are. This goes off in this different direction where it's an Attack on Titan crossover that and look, I haven't watched Attack on Titan.
That's okay.
But
it's very skippable. Don't worry.
The video, the stuff in the game, especially the giant titans that they have. Maybe I won't actually show it to you because I guess it's a big spoiler for the thing. But anyway, or I won't show you that little bit anyway. And you'll probably see it in the episode of Checkpoint.
There are spoilers in the episode of Checkpoint for that story, so if you really care.
But the Titan the Titan, just the way it is animated and the way it looks is so goofy, and maybe that's how they're supposed to be from the show, I guess. But he's just got this huge grin. He's like and he's animated. It looks like almost some of the sort of Gary's Mod.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, weird guy. Doing the weird thing. And it's just this is, it's not, Assassin's Creed doesn't have to be fully realistic, but this just seems unnecessary. But anyway. Let's move on to stuff that we didn't cover in the actual, we won't have covered in the tense. Knowing how to conjugate the tenses is a little difficult. We won't have covered
Look,
To be
again,
covered.
there are
It-
time shenanigans this week.
It won't have will have been covered.
So when all of you are making your big checkpoint, ChillPoint,
It
massive
hasn't-
timeline,
Yeah, it hasn't.
that's up
will-
to you to figure
it
out.
hasn't will have been covered.
It will not have been covered?
Yeah, sure.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the tense for something that has happened but hasn't nobody has seen yet? I don't know.
Apologies to everybody out there who has to learn this as a second language. It's
This is actually so. There's a couple stories here. Obviously, so because the Video Game Awards or the Game Awards was last night, there's a couple stories. A lot of the stories that were coming in this previous week were like speculation about the Game Awards. And obviously, a lot of those are now moot because the Game Awards happened and we know what the answer are.
but but now we can look at their speculation, find out if they were right or not.
It's true.
Oh my God.
Well, and also, but also some of these stories, I marked a couple of these stories as interesting because they're sort of I find them interesting outside of what actually happened at the Game Awards.
okay.
So, for instance, this one, Resident Evil Requiem,
Okay.
is the upcoming Resident Evil game. That's the ninth. It's Resident Evil Requiem.
The Q is a 9.
Requiem.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There was a big reveal at the Game Awards that, again, spoiler warning, that Leon Kennedy is going to be in it.
Yes.
Long time Resident Evil guy.
If you didn't want to be spoiled in that, you should have ripped your headphones off immediately when he said spoiler warning.
Unfortunately, a couple days before,
Yes.
on the Sony store, a bunch of stuff got spoiled accidentally on the Sony
Well.
store. So for one thing, like a alternate art graphic.
I have a phone call. I'm sorry.
Alternate
art graphic.
Yeah, an alternate art thing was spoiled. Here you can see that just has him in the background.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Then
Whoops.
wasn't there also like an outfit or something that it was like in
and
the
then
details
also,
as well?
so there's another character who hadn't been revealed yet, Rosemary Winters, who's the daughter of a person from the Resident Evil Village DLC.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I know
but-
some of the early Resident Evil games because they're kind of iconic in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
the newer stuff is escaped my purview.
But anyway, they had like, hey, check out the Shadow Walker costume pack, which has three exclusive outfits for Rosemary Winters. And people are like, you haven't said that she was in the game. Whoops.
So she's in the game then, huh?
Yeah. I do love the idea of it being spoiled by like, check it out, you'll have fun, cool outfits. Cool outfits for who? For someone?
I mean, they could have actually done it. They could have said that in the if they had planned for this more appropriately, they could have put up a thing that was like there will be outfits for mystery character that we've not revealed yet.
Right.
That does happen in some stuff when they do DLC before games even been put out, where they'll have like, oh, it'll have new story content featuring like question mark and to try to keep that up. But this was clearly meant to come up after the Game Awards.
Yeah. So
When they showed it off that trailer.
So that part was in a that poster with Leon on it was on the PlayStation Store listing. The thing with the DLC was actually on a GameStop listing.
Oh.
So yeah, oops. This is why we can't tell our retail partners anything.
Yeah.
Good point.
That will definitely do it. I mean, you can do if you're doing I think doing as an on purpose thing, dropping information by updating pictures on a store listing
I mean, that's pretty.
is a pretty fun way to
That's
like
getting into like an ARG kind of
yeah,
idea,
but I think that's a fun way to do it because you'll have the people who really care who want that, and you'll have a bunch of people who won't, who will still buy the game anyway, right?
I am never, ever going to remember that it's Capcom who makes Resident Evil. I don't know why, but in my brain, those two things don't go together for some reason. I don't know why.
Who do you imagine makes Resident Evil?
Konami.
What? Ooh. What? When I say Capcom, what are the franchises that come to mind for you?
Mega Man.
Oh.
Yeah, Ace Attorney usually next, but
New Mega Man spoiled.
New Mega Man
Yeah.
spoiled. So
You know when they do a Capcom big event thing, they're like, we're going to show off a bunch of stuff. I never watch it because most of the time it's just Monster Hunter and Resident Evil and probably some other stuff, but it's almost never Ace Attorney.
Bionic Commando.
Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter. Yeah, I'll usually get there. With,
Eventually?
like if you mention Street Fighter to me, I'd be like, yeah, maybe Capcom. Like I would get that, right? Like that's pretty easy. I don't know why, but I think it's something about the big, colorful characters, and I think that's why Resident Evil doesn't trip the same way for me, because it's like that, and I think Dragon's Dogma is another example of that, and Monster Hunter, even Monster Hunter, which is a big, colorful, like big, huge monsters and whatever else, and for whatever reason, it's like Monster Hunter doesn't immediately say Capcom to me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know who it says to me when I think of them, but yeah. So
Sonic Racing or Sonic Rumble, sorry.
yes,
Sonic Rumble just came out a little while ago, and it's basically Fall Guys but Sonic.
which they did because Fall
You
Guys
just play-
has Sonic skins.
Yeah, you just play Fall Guys with a Sonic skin.
Yeah, except in Fall Guys, something that I actually really like about Fall Guys is that all of the skins are like explicitly actually just outfits.
Right.
So like Sonic in Fall Guys is just like the little bean guy,
Right.
with like a Sonic hat and
the
Sonic
mohawk.
pants.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy dressed up as Sonic. He is not Sonic.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. Which a Sonic Fall Guys kind of game sounds pretty cool, actually.
Sure.
In fact, we were going to play it on Crossing the Streams on Monday. It was on the schedule.
I had thought that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sonic Racing's always been on the schedule.
It turns out that so it's not been getting it's been getting some bad reviews. It's off to a bit of a rough start, and a lot of that is because while the game is fine, its monetization is particularly egregious, which you know. We talk about a lot on this on ChillPoint, ChillPoint about that. That's sort of the push and pull of monetization. Right?
It is one of our favorite bugbears. Yeah.
Some things this always happens, right? Where everyone gets mad at a monetization thing, and because it went too far.
Yeah.
And then it gets pulled back sometimes, or people reject that. But where that line is, changes all the time, and it's like what, it's like. We're okay with this. We're okay with this. We're okay. Nope. You went too far.
Yeah.
You went too far.
Yeah.
What's the line this time?
And the line this time is they have a bunch of the DLC skins and stuff are in the $40 to $60 range. There are some
For like a pack, right?
All right.
For like
I
like
think
10.
that is just an outfit.
Oh, okay, but
there
like,
are multiple paid battle passes. There's gacha systems. There's a subscription service.
Oh shit!
Apparently, some of them actually have like pay to win, like in-game effects.
I mean, I guess it's a free to play game. That's
Yeah, it is a free to play game, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as an excuse. I'm just like
but like at a certain point,
to add to their sins wasn't also like you paid $60 for this game and now you also have to keep paying. more
okay.
It's like
game,
these
right?
are not These are just transactions.
yeah.
All right.
That's true though. You're right. This is just a transaction. Now.
That's just the cost of a game.
$70
so
to get a
sarcasm on. It's just a cosmetic skin. You don't have to buy it.
Wait. But okay. Somebody in chat said it was a pay to win skin.
So and how much it is pay to win, there's some discussion about, shall we say.
Okay.
Some the skins do seem to depending on which skins, some of them actually do seem to improve your score
I'm seeing that skins do not affect actual gameplay. Skills, which you can also buy.
You can buy skills?
Yeah, Mathwin apparently has said earlier that they're playing the game.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so you can, when you buy the skin, does it come with skills? I'm finding myself
afraid,
more and more unclear.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't done a big deep dive on this, but it seems bad.
Also, I did see someone say Silksong costs less. I know that's a thing, but Silksong is like $20-$25 or something, and is honestly really low even for an indie game title.
That's true.
Of that caliber. I don't like the idea that possibly people go around straight faced saying, and that's might not what have been going on in chat, but there are going to be people who go around straight faced saying, "Oh, well, games should only cost this much money
because look at Silksong."
Because look at Silksong, and they could do it. And like Silksong is made by a dev group that has so much money that they can do that, and I don't think that's fair to other indie titles. Never mind.
So what I'm gathering from some stuff I'm reading is basically the idea skins don't help you do better in the game. They don't help you do better in the game.
Yes.
During a game, but what they do is increase you can get more points, which then the points are used to like unlock stuff.
Oh, so the actual match, the gameplay part itself, it's like that doesn't matter.
It doesn't help you, but it does increase your sort of meta progression stuff.
I see.
Basically, your XP.
And that, so it's like getting a 10% buff to your XP if you wear a skin. Let's just pretend. And then that would mean that, that means that I'm actually progressing through the game faster, which means that I'm actually able to do more things or unlock better abilities so
you might call that pay to win in the sense that two people playing for 10 hours, the person with the skin is going to be farther ahead,
right,
in terms of abilities,
because they were willing to put the $60 down or whatever to say, I want to actually progress faster. It's like going to the store and buying a Red Bull and getting that double XP shit that they put on all the Red Bull now. I hope everybody knows what I'm referring to, as opposed to B just lost his fucking mind.
I thought it was the Monster drinks.
Is it Monster? I think Monster and Doritos. I think maybe they're
probably.
Like something Mountain Dew.
I mean, it could have been Red Bull for all I know. I don't pay attention to any of those.
I didn't realize that drinking Red Bull gave you XP at all.
Red Bull gives you XP wings. So
I mean, maybe they should change their slogan to that.
Anyway.
They all do it? Yeah, probably. It sounds like a thing that energy drinks do.
Hot Pockets for MTG cards. I don't even know if that's true or not, TXC2.
No, I do remember them doing that. That was a little while ago. That was...
And yeah, to finish this thing about Sonic Rumble on CTS on Monday, we're going to be playing the Sonic Racing game because it is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we played it before. That was a sponsored stream. This one is not.
No.
And I think that says quite a bit, honestly, that we're willing to go back to a game.
One of the other mysteries, I guess, things that we're talking about at Game Awards was this shadow or this statue that was out in the middle of the desert.
Yes.
That there was a lot of consternation about. People, before the Game Awards, people basically figured out that it was something from Larian.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And they were right.
Yeah, all right.
As I've seen a few comments about, not from our stuff, but just in general, the trailer for Divinity, the new Divinity game,
right,
from Larian, probably could have used at least one content warning, like.
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
Like, there was some pretty nasty, like, there was some violent stuff in other trailers during the thing.
Yeah,
that
they
Larian
were really
trailer was
close up on the gore and
more brutal than one would expect.
The person eating skin or something,
yeah,
and the dude being lit on fire, and that was a lot. That was basically
and
just like
to sort of come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an orgy shot? I don't even remember that part. I just remember being like, "Oh, everything is really gross."
I mean, I gladly take the orgy shot over everything else. So yeah, at least that's people liking each other.
It seemed I felt like it was an angry orgy.
Oh, okay, yeah. The kind of orgy you see depicted in Asterix comics, where everyone's got like fondue and bread on swords. For years, that's what I thought an orgy was. They'd have a big Roman orgy, and I thought it was just
people
like
having fondue.
I thought it was everyone with a big cauldron of cheese, and they would put they'd have bread on their swords, and they'd dip it, and that was the Roman orgy.
I feel like there were some, you had some serious misunderstandings.
I did for a long fucking time,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. I like your version better.
Yeah,
That
mean,
sounds fun.
The thing is, though, is that you like at least it proves that if you're gonna have an orgy, you gotta bring good food to an orgy. It's
true. Oh, yeah.
It's
true. Yeah, I mean, that's just polite.
Yeah. They never mentioned the vomitorium, though. That was the thing, is that they mentioned the orgy part, but they never mentioned the vomitorium. I had to find out about that thing like years later, and I was like, what is this? It's like, oh, it's where they go to purge all of the food they ate so they can go back and eat more food. And it's like, not true. Not true, but a thing that got brought up later. And it was like, okay, cool. Awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something else.
Please.
Like, for instance, the Elder Scroll. So, yeah, actually, remember last week? Literally last week.
Yeah.
There was an interview with the head of Bethesda. And they were like, hey, you know what's fun? Shadow dropping things.
Oh, shit,
Oh,
right.
yeah. What did they shadow drop? Did they shadow drop something?
Oh, my God.
Which, in hindsight, I guess was kind of a nod and a wink, maybe?
I guess, yeah.
Because, yeah, they literally, a couple days ago, shadow dropped a Skyrim Anniversary Edition Switch 2 edition.
I think we have to say it that way.
Switch 2 edition,
Yeah.
with a free upgrade if you've got the Switch version.
If you got the Anniversary Edition, I think
Yeah.
it's a paid upgrade if you got the non-anniversary.
And
Yeah.
so,
version.
this is the thing I said earlier that we would, if there's more to the story prior, I think it's funny that it being shadow dropped right after Bethesda was like, we like to shadow drop stuff.
Yeah.
So Nintendo Life did a review of Skyrim Anniversary Edition, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, and
Is that how it's? Is that the full how it's named?
well, because there is a Skyrim Anniversary Edition for the Switch, for the
Yeah.
original Switch. That's like I think
Skyrim Anniversary Edition, Switch 2 Edition.
I think every time that
Yeah.
because every game I've seen so far that has come out on both consoles, they have always followed it with Nintendo Switch 2 Edition as
Right.
like the thing that goes on it. So I'm just going to say it that way because it's stupid. Nintendo Life I'm going to spoil it, has given it a 4 out of 10, which is way lower than I think the 7 out of 10 they gave the Anniversary Edition for the Switch.
Oh, that's not good.
So it actually got worse on
got-
the Switch too?
And do you know why it got worse? Is that they're like,
Or is it just it didn't get any better?
it's beautiful.
Oh.
It looks amazing. And the input lag is increased. And the control of the game is miserable. And so this guy was writing the article, and I've never seen Nintendo Life do this. They dropped a sidebar in the middle of the article called Second Opinion, and it was another person in Nintendo Life being, okay, but I know he had all this stuff to say about it. So I also had to look at it. And yeah, it's dog shit. He's absolutely right. Like and I'm like, that's really rare that happens,
Wow.
but yeah.
Is this the first instance of a game being worse on the Switch
on
too?
higher? Yeah, I think it might be.
It might be. That's because usually it's like, oh, if you put in a Switch 1 game, it's either the same or it runs slightly better because it's got more speed.
And so there's this thing of I think what's gone on here is like because I think the Skyrim Anniversary Edition came out for the Switch in 2022. And so if they were working on making an edition for the Switch 2 that just looks nicer, they probably didn't start in 2022. They probably started in like 2024 when they knew that this next gen thing was coming out. And so we have to make improvements. That's the hope, because if they started at the beginning of 2025, man, they didn't let this thing cook long enough. Again, according to what some people have reviewed it as, I have not played it. I don't know
intend
how
to.
it's good. But it's like the frame rate did not increase in enough of a way to make you feel good about playing the game, and the input lag got worse. Is kind of their main things.
So it's like, what if you just like played the Switch 1 version on your Switch 2? Would that actually be better?
It is.
Yeah. And
It
that's-
actually is.
That's the worst part. Isn't it also smaller?
But yeah, it is small because the graphics aren't as good,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and they also had to, and they've said you can't just downgrade direct. You have to delete the 50 gigs of Switch 2 edition from your Switch 2, and then re-download the Switch 1 edition from or
At least you can read-download.
at least
the
you can
Switch
do
one.
it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's still not great if you've.
The
Yeah.
the other part of this story that was kind of funny is there's an again on Nintendo Life, they have an interview with one of the developers of it. I'm assuming this interview was done before they did the actual review because it's a very relaxed interview, shall we
good.
say?
All right.
It doesn't feel like the person they're interviewing knows that the person.
They're about to give it a 4.
Yeah, they're about to give it 4. But anyway, one of the things it says, it says, how is the re-release process for you? How do you approach returning to a game again after working on it for for so long?
Right.
And he's like, oh, it's really easy. We're big fans of Nintendo. We love working with them and getting their games on their consoles. And because the new console, we're like, hey, let's bring back one of the most beloved games. But my favorite part is the developer says, to be honest, it's a bit of a joke right at this point. How often we release Skyrim, but it is a great game. We want everyone to play it in the best way possible.
I agree. Great for you. Good. I'm glad you made a version for Switch 2.
I just, I like that even the developers acknowledge that they've re-released it so many times at this point.
Yeah.
They might need to patch some stuff.
Yeah. And maybe that's coming.
Maybe there'll be a patch that clears it up.
I imagine like if it's the input lag is worse and the review scores are
Like it might be one of those things
very
where
bad,
they like bumped up the resolution without dealing with other stuff. Or
Yeah,
something.
they added a lot of effects and stuff that are kind of like from the game that you would see on like the PC version, right? The effects are coming through now that they had to take out for the Switch release. Is part of what I read in the thing, and I was like, wow, that's okay. So they're kind of trying to get the game out to like this is how it performs on PC or in PS5 or whatever. We can do that now, and it feels like just not enough time and attention was spent to bringing it over. But anyway, that's...
If your idea of a good shadow drop is a remake of an old game that is being put out on the Switch 2 and there's a version of it on the Switch 1, I feel like we need to
That's true.
redefine
Yeah.
what you think a shadow drop is and what a good shadow drop is.
Yeah.
Because
It's true. Like I would be a little bit like if they were like, oh, there's a big Skyrim announcement coming out in the next little while, and it's like it's gonna be big, and then they're like, coming in 3 months, the Switch 2 version of the re-release of Skyrim. Like if they had like done a
Yeah,
normal hype
like-
cycle
yeah.
for
Like-
it, that would have been like, okay, sure.
Crickets. People wouldn't even have booed. They'd be like, whatever, dude, we knew this was coming.
Yeah, like
but
that's
if
just
they,
an update. That's
if
not
they
a shadow.
dropped, I don't know what Skyrim 18. I don't know what numbers that they're on their Elder Scrolls whatever's, but they
It is 5 still.
Is it 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they just dropped 6, never told anyone that they were making it, which would be amazing for that to get through.
Yeah.
And just dropped it out there and went, "Hey, we made a thing. It's available right now." And it was janky in any way, it would be the complaint then would be, "Oh, you didn't go through the hype cycle, which means you didn't let it get reviewed properly, which means you were just after sales for day one."
Yeah.
2 things about that I'd say. One, Elder Scrolls games are known for being extremely janky on release.
Okay.
Always.
Sure.
They also have already announced that they're going to do Elder Scrolls 6.
Sure.
I believe though that they said that they're going to do Elder Scrolls 6, but they're first working on new Fallout. Or maybe it's the other way around.
I thought they weren't allowed to do any more Fallout until the new Elder Scrolls came out, which
Maybe that's the way it goes.
I thought it was that way.
Also, what I had heard was...
And also it was like 6 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, and I'd heard that 6 was supposed to be an MMO in this case. Or at least it was supposed to be largely more online.
As we know how well that worked for Fallout.
Fallout 76, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe that's why they're in a position of how do we come at this
Right.
problem?
Elder Scrolls Online already does exist.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And
ESO's
yes,
MMO.
it's a bad example that I've provided, but it's like
Yeah.
you all get my point. His idea of shadow drops is bad.
How about things that aren't bad? Updates.
I like
that would be
those. I
nice.
like things that aren't
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Things that aren't bad.
All right. There's a game called The Precinct. It's a PS5 game where it's a cop game. Where you're doing around cop stuff, which, whatever.
Everyone has feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the update?
But there's a new update. It's the canine update.
Oh.
Oh.
You get a pupper, and you can
Dress it up.
make it all tactical. Tactical pupper. He helps you out.
Oh my God.
You found a guy in
In a dumpster?
okay,
And what is that?
During when we were watching the Game Awards, they brought up that they were like, "Ooh, a game about companions or whatever," and we all had that reaction of like, people don't really like companions. Except I think perhaps that's not true when it comes to a dog.
Yeah.
No, well, there's a big difference between companion who is like, you have to protect them, or they're like an escort quest, or this kind of stuff.
Nobody wants an escort quest.
And just like a little, a little dog or a little friendly, helper that is one invincible, so you don't have to worry about them.
That's true.
And two, just like goes and helps you, like that doesn't demand anything from you. Just simplifies your thing.
Okay.
It's when your companions are like, come over here, help me with this, do this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when people get annoyed.
Dogs don't do that.
They
Exactly.
just go bark all the time. Yeah. Bark, bark.
Oh, maybe that's
bark,
the.
bark.
Okay, so I have heard that in Metroid Prime 4, they have some companion characters that people are not hot on. Supposedly, it's for a short amount of time, so it's not the whole game at least. But what if
Is the companion Baby Metroid?
we added? No, they're people, Paul.
Yeah.
What
They're
if
Federation
instead,
Force
what,
people.
What if instead we added a mode to all games that have like our hey looks and those things with just woof
Woof. The character doesn't change, but they just make bark noises
yeah. So
instead.
and then, so all the people in Metroid Prime 4 just bark.
No,
Yeah.
you can't do that. You
Why
can't.
not?
You can't
Why
do
not?
that because there will be segments of the internet
So
that are going to get way too
I
excited.
can't stop segments of the internet from doing anything.
Samus Aran
I'm not saying Samus
leading
would
around
bark.
people with guns who can only say bark to her. Who
If-
are not allowed to talk. They can
Yes.
only say bark and wear collars and have little floppy
I didn't
ears.
say they would be wearing collars and doing that. That's fan art stuff.
Oh my
I am
God.
just saying they should have a bark track.
If you think that Samus has been safe from that so far, I think you might be in for. But anyway, for the precinct, the Canine new update, you can command your dog to tackle fleeing criminals. He can sniff out illegal goods. You can fully customize his the breed and the equipment and his color and style and all that kind of stuff.
Ooh, and sometimes they'll just say, "Oh,
You can't. You can't.
no, I can. I can do
can't
whatever I
You
want. No one
can't
can
puppy
stop
girl
me."
half the cast of Metroid Prime 4.
Yes, I can.
Oh no.
Yep, it's already happened, Beej. It's too late.
Oh, the fan art is going to be amazing. Oh, Jesus.
I make video games better.
Yeah, you do.
What about just like Navi? It just goes bark instead of hey, listen.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
I played that demo for The Adventures of Elliot. Boy, that fairy needs to have an off switch. But if she just went bark, bark,
Well,
I'd
that's
be up for that.
That is how they fixed it in Majora's Mask, right? Is that after Ocarina of Time with Navi, right? They're like, well, we need to keep this thing in the game to kind of like give you hints to explain shit to you, but we're not going to have it say, hey, listen and do all that kind of stuff anymore. We're just going to have it jingle when it wants your attention. And
And you can ignore it if you want.
you
Yeah.
can ignore it
'Cause-
because it's
well,
just a sound effect
it's-
as opposed to somebody saying a word.
Well,
Before
but
we
it's
get-
not even hey, listen. It's because it was hey, listen,
yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
dialogue comes up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
interruption, not the noise.
But just before we get totally corrected by
Yes.
everyone, Navi is missing in Majora's Mask and does not show up in Majora's Mask. We get Tat and Tull. So we get two
Tattle,
fairies
yeah.
named Tattle, and you get one of them, and I don't remember which one. So
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel compelled to mention the
They also don't like "Hey, listen at you" a ton, if I remember right.
the mod of Wind Waker that somebody did that replaces Link with a goose. That-
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
More
hunk-
games should do that too.
The honker. Anyway, we got a new. So this is again the Game Awards thing. The rumor was there was going to be, or not the rumor. It was announced that we will find out the future of Tomb Raider at the Game Awards.
Okay.
Well, that
And we
that
found
was
out-
true.
In fact, there are two Tomb Raider games
Already?
coming out, which is kind of cool actually. There's like a new Tomb Raider game. It is not. I don't think it's been said whether this is actually in the chronology of the like Rise of the Tomb
No,
Raider.
it was Catalyst, which I think was coming out in 2027.
Legacy of
And
Shadows or something.
Atlantis something,
Oh, okay.
whatever that is
yeah,
for
so-
next year.
So the new one, or the one that is like moving the game forward, is the Tomb Raider Catalyst. you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, that was the one they showed first, and
And then they're also doing a reboot or reimagining. I'm guessing it's not like a straight reboot or like a remaster. It looks like it is actually like a reimagining of the first Tomb Raider game.
it had dinosaurs. Atlantis has dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're getting Legacy of Atlantis first, right?
Yes, that one's coming
Yeah,
out next year.
that one's coming out next year, and then Catalyst is coming out year after. But
Provided they don't delay it.
from what it looks like considering the original Tomb Raider, like not just, it's one of those things like if they redid the original Tomb Raider with amazing photorealistic graphics, it still wouldn't work because it was like it not grid based, but like I think it actually had like tank controls for controlling Lara, and you like walk up to a thing, like it was super clunky.
Right.
And so I'm assuming that I'm assuming it is like a reimagining using the new engines and all that
Right,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
following the same general thing.
I didn't think we gave tank controls to people. I
It was a bad time.
I thought we gave them to tanks.
Yeah.
Hence the term.
There was a time that we thought giving them to people was a good idea.
It's not. It wasn't literally like twin stick Lara moving, right? It was just single stick moving, but it was like
Tank-
forward, back, and then rotate one way, rotate
tank
the other
controls
way.
in the context of video games. It's like it's that forward, back, and then rotate left and right.
Right.
Is there I know there's like a anime with girls as
Tanks.
well as definitely as planes. There's one.
There's
Yeah,
Thinking
one.
of Strike Witches.
there's
there's one with them planes, there's
There's
one
one
with
as
them boats.
tanks.
They're not. So there's.
'Cause I know boats. Yeah, I know boat wives.
Concole is the boat one. Strike Witches is the plane one. The tank one is Girls und Panzer, but it's not.
but
they're not
They're not
tanks.
girls who are supposed to be tanks.
No, they do tank sport.
They do tank sport.
Yeah, they control. They're all from different countries, and they all control
Right.
tanks from their own countries because that's cute girls doing cute things.
Because
Yeah.
my suggestion would have been that maybe characters who had tank controls in the past were literal tanks, and they could do a crossover with the Tank Girl show, but apparently that's not a thing
But-
somehow. I'm sure it's a thing, we just haven't seen it.
I did recently read H Bomber Guy did a review of Tank Girl, and he said it was actually a really fun movie.
Oh, Tank
good.
Tank Girl is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Nobody in Tank Girl is a tank.
No.
It is a weird movie though.
It's what I
kinda
understand.
fun.
Yeah.
It's also fits nicely into the oeuvre of Malcolm McDowell being in charge in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Ah, great. Because if it's not going to be him, it's going to be Dennis Hopper,
Anyway, and as people point, like
Lori Petty.
obviously a lot of games from that era use tank controls. For some reason, a couple people talking about Grim Fandango, excellent game.
Yeah.
It did use tank controls. I mean, that's like an adventure. It was sort of a point and click style LucasArts adventure game. So like, quick reactions weren't
Yeah,
that big a problem.
That's fair.
So it's a little bit different when you are playing in like an action game.
It's funny too, because like when I think about tank controls, like we were saying how that works, I'm kind of like, right. So, I mean, if I'm playing Mario 64, I push forward, he goes forward. If I pull backwards, and he runs towards the camera. And if I push to the right, then he obviously like turns to the right. And I'm like, no, he doesn't.
He runs.
He
to the right.
runs to the right, and that's
Yeah,
the difference.
that's
I'm
the difference.
right? Because when you
Right.
push right, what that means is that when I push right, the person starts turning in one space, and they just kind of keep turning and turning and turning until I stop pressing right, which
And-
is annoying.
Right.
And it goes along with like fixed camera angles too, usually.
Yeah,
Resident Evil had tank controls. Leon's in Resident Evil. Leon is a tank girl.
yeah.
Got it.
Your reasoning is flawless.
What's next?
Next, do you want a Wii U gamepad that is actually a Switch?
I have that as a Switch, but tell me more.
I love modders.
Me too.
Okay.
This guy, so basically, this somebody who really likes the aesthetic and the actual ergonomics of the original Wii U gamepad.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I found it kind of weird and fat, but
I mean, it's big, but I
I
found
did
it pretty
find it-
comfortable to hold.
Me too.
but so they have adapted the original. They have adapted a Wii U gamepad and put the internals of a Switch Lite inside it. All the buttons, like he used a Switch Lite, so there wasn't any deal with like the wireless
I
part.
know, that makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense.
And so all the buttons are all wired up. They all work. He replaced the screen with like an OLED screen
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
just to make it fancier.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a Wii U
yeah.
game. And so for one thing, you're pulling out your Wii U gamepad when you're like not near your home.
Yeah.
So people are like, aha, you don't know how a gamepad works. And you go, haha,
Yeah.
surprise.
Well,
I
no,
am
in this
playing
day
a
and
thing.
age, and given how many of those sold, it's probably more like, what is that?
Yeah, because you're like, it doesn't look quite like a Steam Deck, but it is the size of a Steam Deck. It's the gamepad is fucking huge. Like in retrospect, like looking at it, because we have it on our, we have it up.
Yeah,
at
because we still have
home.
the Wii U at home.
Yeah, so it's like that's
in.
hooked up, and it's on a stand next to all the other Switches now, next to our Switch OLED and the Switch 2, and then the Wii U gamepad is on its own cradle, and it's like this thing is even bigger than the Switch 2.
Yeah.
This guy, by the way, is Kouzex, Kouzex, Kouzex.
Which is why I do find it funny to take a Switch Lite, which is meant to be a little bit more portable. It's not that much more portable,
Yeah.
to be honest. But to do that with the smallest version of a Switch and put into a big thing is pretty funny.
Yeah, so he says, this turned out amazing. I think it looks barely modified, and it definitely fits in what I would call a sleeper build. The printed frame and larger bezels aren't too noticeable, and I think it would trick most people, even if you know what a Wii U is in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair.
Literally every button on the gamepad corresponds to the button on the Switch. Everything is mapped one-to-one other than the TV button, which is mapped to the capture button.
Makes sense.
That makes sense,
I
yeah.
wonder what they was going to use for that. So
I like the only major issue he noted was the lack of a cartridge slot, which he says is fine because digital games. Also, the temperature runs 5 degrees higher than a standard Switch Lite, which he says he'll investigate, but it isn't the end of the world for now.
there's a lot of room in that.
Yeah,
that
you can put like a
gamepad.
full fan, whatever.
Well, because the original Switch had a fan on it as well. So yeah, there'd be no
Could
shame
certainly
in
put
putting one in there.
Some heat pipe stuff in there. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
put
But
like
yeah.
an aluminum plate on the back or something. And
But then to me, that's like a quintessential modder thing, being like, yeah, it works perfectly. It's 5 degrees hotter than it was before, but like that's pretty minor.
yeah, it shouldn't hurt that much.
Be like, but that seems like could be a problem. But anyway, I bet you could
Depends.
fit a bigger battery in there too. if you
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
But anyway, boop-a-doop-boop-boop.
Rock Pusher asked a question that I don't think we're actually looking to explore. Speaking of Steam Deck, any thoughts on Valve looking to bring Steam OS to ARM CPUs? That's not in the list, though, of things
There's
we're going
not,
to talk
no.
about. So I don't know. Did you see a headline for that this week at all? Or?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm.
So it's rumor mill stuff, maybe.
I mean, I am definitely in favor of Steam stuff being on more things. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say, that's Valve already has a lot of experience with the sort of Linux translation layer stuff.
Yeah.
I think do they use Proton or whatever system they use?
Yeah.
So already they're doing one layer of translation. So I don't know if doing yet another layer of translation would be better or worse.
I mean, Apple already proved with the M-class series of CPUs is that you can get Intel translation to an ARM-class CPU like that and have it work incredibly well. So there's probably room for Valve to do the same thing, I'm sure.
Right, and the Steam VR headset uses an ARM. So yeah, I'm sure it. I'm in favor of Steam, the Steam OS being used on more things.
I feel like that's where computers are all moving to ARM platform stuff. So yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see.
Hey, here's a video game that has always been very non-controversial.
Oh no.
Postal.
Hooray!
Remember? I mean, I bet the controversial stuff about Postal would look kind of quaint now.
Yep.
I only learned where the term postal came from 2 weeks ago.
What happened 2 weeks ago?
I read a book about the video game called Postal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they
It's like,
explained
did you
where
see-
postal
did
came
somebody
from.
Did you
And I
see
was
somebody
like,
go postal?
What? Okay. I didn't. It's a term that you hear, and if you don't know where it comes from, because I'm honestly,
Yep.
it was just 2 incidents on the same day. It's not. It made news apparently. But it's not like I paid attention to news at the time.
It was one of those like sort of famous news stories that kind of, but like it's easy to disconnect it from the news story now. Right?
Going Postal is the name of a Terry Pratchett novel.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is also a reference to that same thing.
But I don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I
No.
didn't.
I mean, you knew the phrase though.
I knew the phrase
No.
because it's a phrase people were using.
Yeah, in common parlance, like that. It's like that. You're basically
You're so angry that you're probably throwing things.
you're turning violent. Yeah, exactly.
That was it.
Yeah, and the that just coming out of some postal clerks getting violent is
Yeah.
like, and it is so weird that it's like, oh, that it caught on. Ultimately, it caught on among teenagers and kids and whatnot to say that, oh my God, the guy's gonna go turn into a postal worker. He's gonna go postal, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it just was good slang, and it's so weird because like if it was a grocery clerk that did it. Nobody would be like, oh, he's going to go grocer. Like, I don't think we do that.
Well, the slang comes from headlines that
Yeah.
they decided to use the term as a way to
Yeah.
sell
Yeah.
papers, right? Like, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So if you don't know, the game Postal is a game that I believe there's been a couple of iterations of it over the years. It's kind of, from my recollection of it, is it's sort of a very kind of mostly kind of generic open world open world game.
Violence generator, yeah.
But it's sort of its big thing was always that it was like going to be it was going to be more violent and had more things, and it was one of those games like whenever the like anti video games or video games cause violence things, it was always like the poster child for
Yeah.
video games cause violence. Look
Yeah.
at how violent this video game was.
Yeah.
And so they kind of they sort of used that controversy as kind of part of the marketing for like
wasn't-
super edgy.
It wasn't a very good game from what I
No,
understand.
it was a very sort of mediocre
They
game.
did make a movie about it, apparently.
They did. Uwe Boll did, in fact.
Yeah.
It had at least one funny scene. There's a funny scene where a guy's like at a post office and has to like take a number,
Yeah.
and then somebody like goes postal, comes in and like shoots up the post office.
Right.
Everybody's
Freaking
dying,
out.
and he like ducks down and then starts crawling around, and he sees a dead guy with a lower number than his number.
So he trades
and
him
switches
numbers?
it, and he goes around the whole room looking for lower numbers.
Jesus.
That's a good joke.
That is a really good joke, yeah.
But that's like the only thing I remember about the movie.
That is the kind of joke we'd do a crap shot of, I think. Yeah.
Anyway.
In poor taste, but it's still something we'd pitch.
Anyway, there's a new postal game was announced and is being developed.
All right.
Now, you may have alarm bells go off in your brain because the developer is I don't think they've done anything else so far, but the developer is called Goonswarm Games, which
I believe a goon swarm is like when a whole bunch of people from something awful actually rush into a forum or a thread or into like a to somebody's website to basically try to crash it. I think is what the goon swarm refers to.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, connection to something awful anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're connected, but that was...
Don't know if they're connected, but the name I think comes from there.
So anyway, they released a trailer for it, and people were like, that trailer is obviously using AI.
Okay.
And it looks like butt. And they were like, what are you talking about? The publisher, Running with Scissors, who's the publisher,
Yep.
jumped on to the publisher's Discord, calling anybody who said that ignorant assholes. They also the Goonswarm, the CEO of Goonswarm Games says, replying to people who claim it was AI, saying, it's literally not. Sorry guys, your wet dream is wrong. Dead fucking wrong.
Marketing.
The Running with Scissors community manager called a Discord member the R slur because thing generative AI is used. Anyway, so that was a while ago.
Yeah, so all these people are obviously wrong because they were willing to be this rude and this in defense of their game.
Assuming that it's the same people who did the first couple games, based on the book I read, they have never been great people.
So anyway, a couple days later.
2 days later.
Yeah. Running with Scissors, who's the publisher, posted on X, the Twitter app, that they have said that their trust in Goonswarm Games has been broken. After revealing Postal Bullet Paradise, a title Running with Scissors was planning on publishing but not developing, we have been overwhelmed by the negative response from our concerned postal community.
Oh my God.
The strong feedback from them is that the elements of the game are very likely AI generated and thus have caused extreme damage to our brand and our company reputation. We have always been and will always be transparent with our community. Our trust in the development team is broken and therefore we have killed the project. We have a lot of good things coming, some you know and some you don't.
Wow. Shit. I mean, like, you must have been going real fast as you backpedaled.
We'd like to apologize to anyone who felt insulted in the heat of the moment. And we thank you for raising concerns. Yeah. People
I'm sorry you felt insulted by me calling you that.
Calling you an ignorant asshole.
Oh my God.
Yeah. As for those who specifically sent us death threats, the apology does not apply, which I like that actually.
Okay.
Anyway, following their
I feel
statement,
like they are the kind of people you bring in, though.
so following the publisher's statement, Goonswarm Games announced they say our project and everything we built over the past 6 years was canceled in just a few days. Our studio was mistakenly accused of AI-generated art in our games, and every attempt to clarify that our work only escalated the situation. Too bad their totally reasonable attempts to clarify things escalated the situation. In the last few hours, we've received a large number of threats, insults, and mockery, which pushed us towards this very difficult decision. That Goonswarm Games, they're shutting down. We're truly sorry for the artists who put their souls into this and supported our studio only to face false AI accusations. It is tough to pour so much energy into a game and be caught up in the middle of an AI war by accident. We've decided to shut down the studio and end all further activities. Thank you for being with us. Stay strong. play games.
Now, the topper to this, the absolute cherry for me, Paul, is if there was a spot at the very end of that said, you can also try modifying the tone so it sounds a little more forceful.
So, the next day,
Oh, God.
so
Oh, no.
after
I thought we
were done.
The next
Yeah.
day after their note about them shutting down because of false AI accusations, they posted, we want to start with a sincere apology to everybody affected by the situation, the community, our partners, and especially the artists who supported us. The last few days have been overwhelming. As a small studio, suddenly pushed into the spotlight, we reacted emotionally and defensively. The accusations came as a shock, and we needed time to breathe, look at everything calmly, and understand what truly happened.
Okay.
After taking time and conducting an internal review, we agree with your criticism. The promo art does appear to indeed include or be influenced by AI-generated material. We collaborated with an external artist for years and never saw any signs of this. The layered PSDs always looked legitimate within our internal pipeline, which is why our initial reaction was to protect our team and defend our innocence. We understand now that your concerns were valid, and we take responsibility for not catching this earlier.
Wow.
We also
Do you hold him by the belt when you throw him under that bus?
So it's just like, it's the like deny. Not only deny, but like actively insult everybody who could possibly think it was AI.
Absolutely.
Their publisher drops them. They're like, okay, we're closing down because of these horrible false allegations. And then, okay, so maybe some of the allegations weren't false. But anyway.
Wow.
I'm shocked because like it's not that hard to just when people are like, oh, AI and the whatever, and if you can't see it, like if you in the company can't see it, especially like community managers, like people who are like, we're on the front lines of having to take shit and abuse all the time, right? And it's like, for one thing, that's a tough job, and I feel a lot of love towards our mods for having to occupy that kind of position. And so if you have community managers though that are like, oh, I know what to do, I'll just haul out the R slur here and just call everybody that.
Yeah, it's like, you are not helping, friend.
Yeah, you're not being a great community manager in this case. Like, you should be saying, can you point out, like, you should be asking questions and be like, wait, can you point out where that is? Because I don't see it.
It's weird that, that their earnest attempts somehow escalated the situation.
The
how
line
about
you
that?
use is, we are currently investigating the allegations that people have brought forth.
Yeah, you just have
That's
to start.
how you buy yourself time.
Ask some questions and just be like, whoa, hang on. Like, no, we don't use AI, or our policy is not to use AI, but you say you're seeing it here. Can you show me some examples? And then be like, we'll talk to the team. We'll find out what's going on.
Yeah, we make fun of the CEO investor, say a bunch of words while not actually conveying any information.
Yeah.
thing. But there's a worse thing.
Yeah.
I also take issue with trying to be, oh, well, we were being we had an emotional response, and like, you can have emotional responses without being asshats.
Yeah.
Just, yell on your internal Slack or something. So this does touch on this idea, though, that, obviously, video game companies in particular, because we're talking about video game stuff, obviously, video game companies, using AI for certain things, for artwork, for stuff, is a really hot topic right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's. I think there has. There definitely have been situations where, because people are so sensitive to it, people get caught up. There are artists. Sometimes are all just get things wrong. Like, artists sometimes get proportions wrong in the way that an AI would.
Yeah, and there is a trend to say, I hate this thing, it must be AI as well, on top of. Yes, which is not
Rob Liefeld
helping.
couldn't draw feet way before AI couldn't draw feet.
Yeah.
So so I am a little bit. I have a little bit of sympathy for the sort of defending yourself against.
Sure.
It, but
yeah.
as a side note, there was an amazing or a video I saw just the other day. Similar situation. An artist was being accused of tracing AI stuff,
Oh,
which
okay.
is I didn't even think about that, but apparently that's a big thing. Is you don't generate stuff with AI, but you get the AI to generate a thing and then you trace it.
Right.
And people were accusing her of this, and she was like, okay, screw you guys. Here's like me actually working.
Oh,
I'll show you
yeah.
I'll show you an in process thing of me working on it to
Put a
show
camera
you
over my shoulder.
to show you I'm really doing it.
Yeah.
And it looked legitimate until people realized when she pulled up the
Color wheel.
color wheel, that the green section of the color wheel was missing. In that the entire video had been chroma keyed.
Yep.
So there was actually like the thing she was actually tracing was in chroma green, which to be honest is kind of a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
actually.
No, absolutely.
Just watch the color wheel.
Yeah, I mean, if you take AI out of that equation,
Like
artist caught tracing other art
tracing art is like an old
is also a thing people
old thing, yeah.
frown upon quite a bit.
But it is also like that's one of those things where people are like, oh well, as a means of training yourself to understand like why something might be a certain way, tracing a piece of art is not like a bad thing for a beginning artist to kind of do. But what you want to be teaching people is if you're going to be drawing a person, you should be trying to understand the anatomy of the person than trying to be like, I need to follow the contours of the person.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't feel like I have a strong enough opinion as to whether, stealing somebody's art and tracing it or stealing or generating art via AI and tracing it, which is better or worse morally. I don't have like a strong opinion.
Well, and
about
like
that.
a lot of it is where it's like when you're trying to pass off that work as your own and get paid for it or get recognition for it.
That's the problem with that with
When it
tracing,
moved-
regardless.
Yeah.
And when it moves into now I'm doing this art for commission or I'm doing this art for
And I mean, if you're tracing as a method of learning, I'm sure that is like a way to try to learn, but at the same time, if all you're if I take a paint by numbers picture and I paint in all the numbers, have I learned how to paint? It's like I haven't learned any techniques. I haven't really.
Depends on how you do it. I've seen pretty impressive paint by numbers things.
But it's like, but your techniques are incredibly limited because what you're doing is you're working off
and I'm not saying it's like that
a
tracing means
space.
you couldn't learn anything meaningful out of that. But I do feel like because you're shortcutting it, you maybe are not learning techniques that you should be learning.
Yeah. I can definitely understand that. That is very true.
Anyway, I want to actually. I think this. Beej, did you add this about Jell's marble run?
Yeah, Yella's marble runs.
Yella's marble run.
Ooh, people are mad. I mean, I'm mad.
What's the deal on this?
So, do you watch Yella's marble runs?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you were on Dawn Guard for a little while though, right? And they were doing the thing where they were like, let's watch one of the races.
Not while I was there.
Not where you were there. Okay, so there's this. So let's set up the first thing. Yella's Marble Runs is a really cool YouTube channel.
I mean, I can guess the content from the name.
Where what they do is they put on multiple marble-related events. Where it's like, we're going to do races where we have a bunch of teams and everyone cheers for their teams. You can buy merch about your team.
Yeah,
And
they do really cool things where
a lot
they
of
have
fun.
like marbles audience.
Yeah,
and,
that's A.
and
All right,
stuff.
You
as
got
well,
to.
like-
People are concerned.
I know.
People love the marbles.
Oh,
so-
me too. I love them too.
But
so,
it's important.
A, that's the first thing.
Okay.
B, they made a video game a while ago, and it didn't look very good. They didn't make it. They were partnering with somebody, and they're basically licensing their brand to it. And this is a lot of branding exercises going on right now with them. So
There was like a marble.
yeah, Marble League is what they were
Marble League,
doing.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like all the Marble Olympics related events, which are a lot of fun. I like that stuff too. Okay, so now part C. They're working with another company to make a new video game. And it's a Marbula 1 racing game. And they put like a 30-second trailer up on their website, and the comment sections went fucking nuts.
Like, what was the marble madness?
Yeah.
Was the like marble thing where you're like
Yeah, you
driving marble
You
around?
roll your
Yeah.
marble down the
Anyway.
field and whatever. So
But why are people not happy about this?
People
game?
are not happy because the company that Yellow is working has licensed their shit to, because it's obvious that's what's going on here. Is that
Right.
this is a licensed thing. The company that they licensed it to is named Racino, which is a combination of the term racing and casino. It is. Everyone is arguing, hey, your whole thing is wholesome entertainment, family friendly, whatever. The target audience for this game is 18 plus. Why would you need a marble game to be rated 18 plus? Are the marbles fucking each other? It's not really clear as to why you would need that, unless gambling, unless microtransactions, unless people are concerned. There's AI generating algorithms and whatnot that apparently involved in coming up with the stuff that goes on in this game. And who knows what that means? And then also, is there a crypto element to this as well? And so there's
how many different things can you hit?
Yeah.
And so people are saying in the if you go to the website to look up the game, they're like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff to not be happy about here. And everyone is going nuts in the comments of the teaser being like, I am unsubscribing from your channel. I am not watching any more of your videos. Like, it's just been like I watched the thing and then I just like, oh, this is not going to go good for them. And then saw the comments. I'm like, it is not going good for them.
Yeah.
I want to quickly, like, procedurally generated levels.
Yes.
Is not the same AI kind of thing that everyone's mad about.
It is not. And,
Okay.
And so this
Like,
is
that's fine.
These are generally what this is like. This is tracks of like, you know, it's probably going to be based on all of the actual tracks that JMR came up with for all of the different, like all the different teams have their own home track. And so there's a bunch of different ways to race, you know, all that kind of stuff as well. And the AI algorithm, I don't think refers to that. I think what it refers to is modeling the method by which everyone is racing each other. I'm assuming, like doing the physics modeling. I'm not sure. I don't know how any of this works.
Right.
It might not even apply to this game specifically. It might just apply to what Racino does in their own stuff. Regardless, the thing that everyone is really focusing on is the gambling aspect of what this company does, and it's like, does that mean that Marbula 1 is also going to be a gambling game? Is it going to be based on trying to win a pot based on you betting on which marbles are going to win?
So is this not like this is? We don't know.
It's a teaser.
But it's like we don't know what's going to be in this game, but these are the other kinds of games this company makes, so we assume.
Yeah.
We don't actually know that it's going to get have gambling.
The website is very like the website for the company, but it seems like the website for the game is also saying a lot of things where it's like, why is this game rated 18 plus?
So it is already rated 18 plus.
That is what they're announcing anyway. And so
That
it's
is
like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I think this is one of those things where you have a company that doesn't know enough about all of those issues, that because it's like what their thing is they make entertainment where they kind of go into the tank and they build all their marble racing stuff in real life, and they're licensing things out and making merchandise, and now they have a toy line now where they do their own branded runs and stuff. You can buy a box of marbles that is,
I mean, it seems like a cool idea for like it seems like a no-brainer for a video game. And to be honest, as Contingent Cat says in the like, marble racing isn't something that is like a copyrightable thing.
yeah.
No.
Other than obviously the name and the marketing of this.
It's
and
for
you
the
want
brand
to
name.
you want to cheer for your teams, right? So it's like if you have a different marble racing game that some other company has created or whatever, and it's a bunch of marbles going in a whatever, and there's just a team of bright orange marbles that are playing as well. It's like, yeah, but that's not the O-Rangers. That's not who that is. That's not my team. That's just a bunch of fucking orange marbles.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about like, in sports, like in sports games, they have to keep doing keep rebalancing the different the stats of the different players depending on how they actually do in the thing. They're like, wow, the orange marbles are faster. We have to
rebalance them.
We have to
slow the
rebalance
oranges.
them. Yeah, they're
we broke
OP.
the legs of Kinowin. Like it's like, It is a lot like it's like, because I was even saying it's like if you model how one sphere works on like a plane, and you're like, this sphere obeys gravity and it can roll along this plane and whatever, it's like, and now I have to have 18 of them racing each other, and like, well, they're all identical. They would all be identical, but in real life,
but are they?
In real life, I don't think all those marbles are identical. I think they are all slightly different in slightly different ways that are like just different enough to make a difference in different events and different races. That's why we see some marbles never actually win.
You have to put it on like you have to put it on like a centrifuge and
Right. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, they need to balance them like dice, right?
yeah.
Like I was talking to Beej about like a marble game. Like they could do some really cool things with this if we like didn't have this aspect of like it's probably gonna involve gambling and weird microtransactions, where you could have the characters having their different stats updated, or a track editor would be really cool for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or I like the idea for like marketing, because if you haven't seen these, Paul, they do have like audience stands with little marbles in them holding signs that move back
And they
and
cheer.
forth. They have like a whole medaling ceremony where you see the marbles kind of look around, and they'll like turn to a couple of marbles who are like broadcasting the run and how it's
Okay, that's
going,
good.
and
Yeah.
stuff
Greg
like that.
Woods
like,
has his
like,
own
like a
marble,
lot
and
of
he's the
like really
announcer.
cool stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what would be really fun for a PR thing for a game that would hopefully be well received and liked would be the marbles going to the studio to get mocap done.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be
Yeah.
great. Like,
Yeah.
there's some really cool stuff they could do. I
Full body
just don't think they're
scans.
going to, which is
It's like this isn't just an
Yeah.
orange marble. This is that orange marble. It's
Yeah.
got all the
Yeah.
little scratches and all the little things.
They've retired marbles because so they'll be the name of a marble and it will have gone off the track and it will have chipped slightly, and they'll be like, he received an injury, and so they're like, okay, so now that marble no longer is part of the team.
It's a lower body injury. Has
Yeah.
to be a game time decision.
And so I think in some cases they've made that marble the coach of the team. Where they've
Yeah,
been like,
they've
well, we're going to keep
they've
it
done
around.
that.
So now there are coaches on the team, so that marble becomes a coach. Marbles have retired from being in the racing and actually been like,
got-
I'm going to start coaching instead. There have been marbles
got,
who
like-
have left their teams to go coach other teams. Yeah.
yeah.
It's got shades
It's
of
fun.
like blaze
It's really
ball
cute.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
really does. It's super cute. It's really, really funny. It's like John Oliver last week tonight actually sponsored an entire series because they were like, it's the pandemic and everything sucks right now, and this is like one of the greatest,
Yeah.
calmest, most wholesome things that we've seen. So we're gonna give them like, I don't know, $50,000 or whatever to like back one of their events, and they get sponsorship from like all sorts of different places.
Yeah.
Mint Mobile did a sponsored series as well. Lactantia did a sponsored series, like the
But
milk
it is
company.
it is why people are upset about the idea that they might do this with a video game.
Yes.
It's frustrating because like it seems like something to be like a slam dunk for a video game, and then to sort of cheapen or just
Muddy it with
to
that.
sort of muddy it. Yeah,
But
is really unfortunate.
But in a lot of ways, it is very salty bet. It is very much even if you have the video game, you are basically just watching this shit happen. Like you might be able to build stuff, you might be able to lay stuff out. Ultimately, the whole process is I put my marbles in and I say go, and then I can basically control the camera and watch what they're doing. But I am just watching, now I'm watching virtual marbles race to each other, which is easier to do than setting up an entire thing in your
Yes,
basement.
I,
But
I will note that was a popular thing to do for Twitch streaming, though.
Yeah.
Because there are games where you could do that, where you people in the chat would be assigned to a marble and stuff, and that was a thing streamers did for a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
setting up AI things and watching them is actually kind of entertaining sometimes.
There were a lot of people also throwing out the phrase NFT game, and I was like, I know how you would probably do that with this game. I think it's ridiculous, and it's not clear whether this is an NFT game or not. But holy shit, there's just a lot of people saying a lot of things.
I was gonna say this.
Yeah.
This feels like people just like combined all the things they hate about games and kind of pressed it onto this thing.
Yeah.
I'm sort of inclined to wait
Oh yeah.
until like we see what's actually going to happen, rather than what people are afraid is going to happen.
Exactly.
But it still is frustrating because it seems like it would be a great, fun, easy thing to do,
Yeah.
and to kind of fumble it like this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're almost at the we're at 3:00 now. So one more story that I want
One
to
more,
talk about.
okay.
Yeah. Speaking of rolling things.
Speaking of mods, so this is sort of a bunch of things or a bunch of parts to this. So a guy who's a experienced Red Dead Redemption modder
Okay.
went to a bunch of popular Red Dead Redemption streamers
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, what do you want for a mod?
Oh, okay.
I will
That's,
make you know."
yeah, good idea. Okay.
I'll just make you your dream mod.
It's like come up with a fun idea. I will make a mod of it.
Right.
And then they came out with he came out and so there's a video here of like a bunch of these mods that he got working. There's one he made one where so birds poop dynamite,
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
which
That's worrying.
Yep.
This mod on. Every bird is going to beeline to drop dynamite above me. Oh no! Terrifying. Fucker. Look at him, friend. Maybe he already dropped dynamite. Poor cowboy.
Anyway.
He's a cowboy. It's for
Anyway, there's another the Gunicorn, where horses have guns on their head.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
can just fire them whenever they want.
Oh, this has got guns all over it. Wait, he did one where
it actually crashed.
he crashed his game because there's too many guns. There we go. Guns, horses with guns on their heads.
Okay.
Power levels. Is this the one? Boom. Okay. I think chat thoughts. Now the question
He's got that guy had like a double-barreled shotgun.
Oh yeah.
Seems legit.
I mean, until you get off the horse, I feel like never being off the horse is a great way to not
It's very funny.
be safe.
And then he also did the where's the he did a where's the horse guns, which is when you shoot people they turn into horses.
All right. Yeah.
He did turn horse riding into a QuickTime event. So
I have a thing I have to
yeah,
do.
okay.
I'm sorry.
What if I get it almost right?
so you have to you just
Oh, in
you
order
have
to
to
ride.
keep you have to keep allowed doing QuickTime events in order to continue riding the horse.
A lot of horse mods people want. Oh, I would hate that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, let's try to fail.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty funny, but
Rejected.
Suggestion.
I mean, riding a horse in real life is basically a QuickTime event, you know. And then, but then there is the sort of pièce de résistance mod,
Into space.
which is the Super Monkey Ball mod.
okay, that's pretty fun.
I think we got them, chat. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Next, we are going to be spawning bananas for Arthur to collect. Oh, look at the rotation. Oh my god, it's so cool. That is a solid banana trail. Oh,
Anyway,
that's huge.
Yeah, okay, a bunch of
Abe-
those look pretty fun.
A+ modding from Blurbs here. And I just wanted to share all of that with you because it is great. And apparently Red Dead Redemption streamers had some excellent unhinged ideas for mods. I believe also I didn't show you there's also one there. He also did one where if you lose in poker, you explode. Or everybody explodes or something.
Really to up the stakes is what you want. Okay. Yeah,
High
yeah.
stakes poker. Anyway. So, like I said, the episode of ChillPoint for this week will be going up very quickly. But that will be on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/LRRVG. It will be probably around where this video is, because that will also be there. And if you want to support us, you can do it over on Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You can also subscribe to that very same channel, LRVG, and then you'll be in the credits for the episode.
No. That's if you become a member.
Checkpoint.
Subscribing to a
Yes,
YouTube
that's true.
channel is a free action.
Subscribing is free.
The membership thing is a paid one.
Subscribing is free and something you should do. But also, yes, you can become a member, which is free, which is not free. Become a member, which also gives us money. And then you'll go into the credits. And you can become a member of our YouTube channel, or the LRVG channel, or Learning Ready Run, or
We have a multitude
MTG,
of
or
YouTube channels.
all the different YouTube channels. You can become a member of whichever one that strikes your fancy. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. And we will talk to all y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.